Later tonight, we will be getting Kill a Kill on Grand Summoners Global, and with Kill a Kill comes a host of new characters, along with all the old characters with their Dream Awakenings. So you already know what we're doing, man. It's a should you summon, not only just for the Houka banner, but also for the original Kill a Kill units, and even some of the equips that will be coming out in part 1 of this crossover. Of course, let's talk about the thing that everybody wants to know first, the units. Now, if you are newer to the game, you may not know anything about Houka, or maybe you've heard a few rumblings here and there. And if you've been playing for a while, well, you've heard his name more times than you can count at this point. And it's for a good reason, though. This guy is like the pinnacle of support characters. But what exactly does Houka do? What makes him this crazy support unit? Well, he pretty much has an answer for everything. You want damage up? Well, 300% crit damage. How's that sound? Oh, your character doesn't crit? Well, he reduces enemies' crit res by 100%. Oh, you need arch gen? Well, he also does that on the super art. And whoever is the leader of the team gets an additional 3 art gauge on top of it, totaling to 10 arts per second. You want even more damage or more arts than what Houka's already given? Well, you can do that. He has 2 support slots. Oh, and if you need a healer, well, his skill does it too. There's not a single team in the game that will look at Houka and be like, yeah, I don't want to use Houka on this team. I mean, I guess you could make an argument that maybe if you're running anything but a human team, you wouldn't want to use Houka because you won't be able to get the full effect of his art since it does buff up human allies' attack by 100%. But I say that doesn't mean anything because this guy literally has the strongest buffs in the freaking game. In all of my years of playing this game, he is one of the closest units I've seen to being a perfect unit. The only thing that would have made this unit crazier is some way somehow they threw a status cleanse on him or like a status res buff somewhere in the kit. That would have made him literally perfect for everything you would want from a support unit. But technically he has that if you get him to LB7 because you can get a 4-star heal on him instead. I guess the main negative to Houka is that he is Type E Archgen, and Type E Archgen is getting a little bit diluted nowadays. So that is something that you will have to take into account when you're team building with Houka. Just that one negative though doesn't outweigh the amount of power this unit holds. If you are brand new to the game, if you are starting, as soon as this crossover goes live, I am telling you right now, do your best to get Houka. You get Houka or you die trying. If you're a veteran, hopefully you've been saving up some crystals. You know, mines are here, so get through that. Try to get as many crystals as you can right now. And I pray for all of us, man. I pray for all of us. Hopefully we walk away with the man. One of the things that I want to talk about with Houka before we actually go on to Uzu is his true weapon. His true weapon's insane. Very good. It's pretty much like a Lisa Smart skirt. A little bit weaker though in terms of the stats up and stuff, but still it acts as a pseudo heal because whenever you increase all stats in Grand Summoners, it also increases your current HP stat along with your max HP, so it does heal you to an extent. Unfortunately, Uzu doesn't have a lot going for him, or he does have a lot going for him, but he doesn't have as much as Houka, let's say. It's kind of like unfair to compare these two because they're two completely different units, even though they are on the same banner. Uzu, though, is an absolute behemoth of an attacker. He's very self-sufficient with the skill, especially if you're able to crit with this thing because it gives you 60 arts instantaneously. You're able to get a lot of good damage buffs too. Also, a skill CT buff as well on his art. He stacks super crit rate. The first time you use it, you get 25. Every time after that, you're going to get 25% up to a maximum of 75%. The super art is where you're going to be getting your 100% crit rate and also reduce the enemy's physical res by 150%. Also, if that wasn't enough, he has his own attack buff and accuracy buff when he's unafflicted by a status element. Attack up, you know, we all know that's good. More attack, you know, means more damage, blah, blah, blah. Accuracy, though, very, very strong. So he's a really, really strong attacker. However, as I always say with these attackers too, their biggest positive of being this absolute behemoth of an attacker is also their biggest negative. Since Uzu is only an attacker, he kind of doesn't have a place outside of dealing damage. If you don't need to deal a large amount of damage to a boss, or you need to have a little bit more than just damage, you're unfortunately not going to be turned to Uzu. I will say Uzu is a little bit better than most just because he does have that 150% physical res down, which you can utilize that in nukes and other stuff. Another thing that Uzu has going for him is the fact that he has a 5-star defense slot, so this makes him a bit better when it comes to actually doing harder content in the game. I personally love Uzu. I actually have this guy in JP, and he is so much fun to use. I highly recommend that if you get this guy, invest in him. You won't be disappointed. I promise you. You will love this character. Whew. So these two characters, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all, man. I mean, if y'all haven't already deducted that, yeah, this is a summon Yeah, this is absolutely a summon. These two guys are absolutely insane on not only just like, you know, their regular mono teams, which I know a lot of people be like, oh, this guy's only good for mono, this guy's this, but listen, both these guys are fantastic units that can be used literally everywhere. Uzu can be a damage dealer that you use in any team comp. Houka is a support unit that you can use with literally every single character in the game. Both fantastic units, both worth their crystals, and highly, highly recommend that no matter what stage you are in the game, you summon for this banner. And dare I say that if you've been saving up crystals and you've been waiting for a unit to pity, and you're like, man, I got 1,500, you may have 3,000, 4,000, doesn't matter. If you have a large sum of crystals, I'm gonna tell you right now, Houka is absolutely pity worthy. Now, that's one banner that's coming out. There is another banner that will be releasing as well, which actually does have the Kill la Kill characters in it. Now, the original Kill la Kill characters, when it comes to these units, it's a bit different than the Ascended characters. If you are brand new to the game, I highly recommend that you actually do invest in this banner because it does actually have Mako. Mako is also an insane support unit, and unlike Houka, she actually is her own Archden type. She is type EX2. EX2 pretty much means that this character can stack with all other Archdeners in the game except herself. Not only does this banner offer Mako, the other characters on the banner aren't really too bad. One thing that you're going to be running into as a new player is that you're not going to have a lot of characters to actually be able to clear all of Summoner's Road. Well, getting a character like Ryuko, or getting a character like Satsuki, or even Nui, all will help you out quite a bit in Summoner's Road. Another thing about all four of these characters is they are actually luck units. Not only do you get really strong characters that can help you out in Summoner's Road, you get luck units, so they can help you out in farming events. So brand new to the game, you're summoning literally on everything here. If you're a veteran and it comes to this banner, I'm gonna be honest with you, I mean, getting Mako nowadays is still gonna be really good, just to have like another support unit. You can't really ever have too many support units, and you may find a use for her here and there, but if you've been playing the game for a very long time and you've never had Mako to begin with, I don't think you need Mako. I don't think it's going to change too much. If you're able to clear most of the content in the game and you're like, yeah, I don't really see a point in having her, I don't think you really need her. Another thing to mention too, we are going to be getting a ticket with this crossover. This ticket you'll get on day 5 of logging in. When you use this ticket, it will guarantee you one of the old crossover units. So Mako, Satsuki, Ryuko, Nui, it's going to guarantee you one of them. It's going to be chosen at random though, but you'll be able to get one of them for free. So if you want to wait and summon on the old banner after you use that ticket, by all means do that, because if you're only going for Mako and you get her on the ticket, then hey, you just saved yourself some crystals. Not only does Kill la Kill have some of the best units in the game, they also have some of the best equipment in the game. Starting off with Uzu's Goku uniform. Hey, it's a better Ashura. You can't really argue with that one. You guys like damage res down? Good, because get this freaking jersey. Y'all remember Shiro's defense equip? You know, 45% magic res down and everything if you were human? Yeah, that's nice. But Uzu's blindfold, 45% earth res for everybody as long as the user is a human. Houka's Goku uniform, 120% crit damage if the user is water. Literally made for Houka, but you can use this on literally any water character with a support slot. Another good 5-star equip just to have would be Houka's jersey. And I guess we can go on ahead and throw his glasses in there too. I just now realized I literally told you guys to summon for every single one of the part 1 equips. There is one equip that I didn't talk about that is actually in this crossover, and it should be within this first part. Just to be sure though, make sure you check the details screen before you actually summon if you're going for this specific equip. But this equip is known as Goku uniform. You guys may have seen it around here and there, but Goku uniform is a really strong burst archgen item. It goes to the entire team. Everybody on the team gets 20% more damage, and if you use it, it's on a 30-second cooldown, has amazing arts per second on this. And yeah, everybody uses this thing. Even nowadays, people still use this equip because it's just so good. There are some other equips that are kind of like thrown around in here that are pretty good still, like decap mode and all that. But those are all the ones that I would highly recommend all you guys get. I'm going to be trying to go for all of them. I hope that I can get at least a few of them. But hey, we are finally at the end of this Should You Summon. It's a lot. It was a lot. I will say that. The next time we do the Should You Summon, which will be for part 2 of the Kill la Kill crossover, it won't be as long. I promise y'all. We'll just be going over what's coming in part 2 equips and also the part 2 units. But hey, I wish all you guys the best of luck. Thank you all for coming out. Your boys got to go pre-game this because it's about to be a crazy summon video. Oh, don't forget to drink water.